Hello guys, good afternoon. This is the teacher Miguel. And for today's lesson, we are going to talk about the reducing friction is the topic of from your book, for your physical book. And this is for second grade and is the topic number 4. And we are going to talk about with this lesson for today. So let's to check the objective for this lesson is investigate the lubricant for reducing friction and object sliding down and ramp. The concepts that we have for this reading lesson is when two surfaces in contact move past each other, the interaction between them produces a force of friction. Another concept is when two objects are in contact, the electromagnetic forces causes the particles of two materials to be attacked to each other, and this force called adheration and is one of these causes of friction, the adheration. And another causes or another cause is when irregularities on surface in contact get caught on each other. As with solids, the movement of liquids and gases is also affected by the friction. Another one is the frictional the frictional forces between the particles in liquids and gases determine their viscosity. Liquids with high viscosity do not flow easily and feel um, sticky. So let's to check the vocabulary words that we have here. We have rook is having an uneven or irregular surface. Slide is to move over a surface while maintaining constant contact. Smooth is having an even and regular surface. And viscosity, the viscosity is the thickness of a liquid or gas due to friction. Okay, so guys, let's start with the reading part and continue. We have the force of the friction. The friction is a force that resists movement. It occurs whenever two surfaces in contact move past each other, and it always acts in the opposite direction to the direction of movement. For example, imagine two smooth surfaces such as a metal book and a countertop, and if you give the block a push, it will slide across the container top for a short distance and then stop. The force that stops it sliding is friction. So there are many causes of friction. For one, the surface of all objects have irregularities. Even semi-smooth surfaces are actually irregular, as can be seen with a microscope. But these irregularities get caught on each other and slowing down and eventually stopping movement. Another causes of friction is the adhesion and the electromagnetic force of attraction that exists between the particles of object. The friction between object is often a result of a combustion, so a combination of these causes. So the force of friction is at work in all activities involving motion. So when you walk, for example, one foot pushed the ground in the opposite direction to where you want to move. The friction between the rock surface of the ground and your foot in your feet or your foot prevents your foot from sliding because your foot remains still stationary. The other leg can be moved forward, carrying your body with it. Similarly, the friction between a vehicle, rubber tire, and the ground prevents the tire so from sliding. So the wheel can rotate and carry the vehicle in the direction at rotation. Tires are made of rubber because it provides excellent friction with the ground. So the friction is not always desirable, and sometimes it interferes with movement, such as the friction between a moving vehicle and air molecules that slow the vehicle down. And friction always creates heat, and which can damage the surface's heat and which can damage the surfaces moving over each other. So lubricants reduce the friction and the and the head in relays motors. Oil, for example, makes the parts in an engine move more efficiently and also prevents them from overheating. So the efficiency of the lubricant depends on its viscosity. The viscosity is a measure of how easily a liquid flows and depends on the internal friction between its particles. For example, honey has a great viscosity that water, for example, and for this reason it does not flow as easily. If a lubricant is too viscous or thick, it won't move very well. If it is too thin, the solid surface will come in contact and friction um, widely increase. So we finish with the reading part, and we have some example here that a car moved because of the friction between the tires and the road. This friction also relays heat energy. So, and we have some questions about the frictions, and we have these questions that read the text and answer the question. How does friction affect an object motion? How can you reduce the friction between two objects in contact? How does the roughness of a surface affect the friction? And a ballet dancer put a sticky powder called rosin on the soles of her shoes just before dancing on a smooth wooden floor. Then explain why she does this. And we have here some experiment that we are going to do, but this is for the next class. So thank you very much, guys. If you have some questions, we have the virtual class to explain all your questions, and I hope to see you the next class. Thank you very much, guys. Goodbye.